Have you ever wondered about the man behind the world's most prestigious award, the Nobel Prize? What if I told you he was also known as the Merchant of Death? This is the incredible paradoxical story of Alfred Nobel, a man of science, immense wealth, and a deeply troubled conscience. How did the inventor of dynamite, a substance responsible for unprecedented destruction, become the ultimate symbol of peace and human achievement? Let's journey back in time to uncover the truth. Alfred Nobel was born in Stockholm, Sweden in 1833 into a family of innovators. His father, Emanuel, was an engineer and inventor specializing in explosives. It seems a passion for creation and destruction ran in the family. When Alfred was a child, his family moved to St. Petersburg, Russia. There, he didn't attend a regular school. Instead, he received a first-class private education, mastering chemistry, engineering, and an astounding 5 languages. From a young age, it was clear that Alfred had inherited his father's brilliant mind and a particular fascination with chemistry. He was a natural, a prodigy, destined to leave his mark on the world, though he couldn't yet imagine how profound that mark would be. This international upbringing and elite education prepared him for a life of global influence, setting the stage for his groundbreaking and controversial future. The mid-19th century was buzzing with the potential of a new, powerful substance, nitroglycerin. Discovered in 1846, it was incredibly potent but dangerously unstable. Think of it as liquid lightning, powerful but nearly impossible to control. Alfred and his father were determined to tame it. They saw its potential for construction and industry, a way to blast through mountains and build the modern world. But their work was fraught with danger. In 1864, tragedy struck the Nobel family. An explosion at their factory in Stockholm claimed several lives, including Alfred's younger brother, Emil. This devastating personal loss didn't deter Alfred, it galvanized him. He became obsessed with making nitroglycerin safe, to prevent such a catastrophe from ever happening again. He spent years experimenting, risking his life daily. Finally, in 1867, he had his eureka moment. Alfred discovered that by mixing the volatile nitroglycerin with a porous, inert substance called kieselguhr, he could create a stable, manageable paste. He could shape it, transport it, and detonate it on command. He named his invention dynamite, from the Greek word dynamis, meaning power, and powerful it was. Dynamite revolutionized the world. It blasted tunnels through the Alps, carved canals like the one in Panama, laid down thousands of miles of railway tracks, and dug deep into the earth for precious minerals. It was the tool that literally shaped the modern industrial landscape. Nobel had given humanity the power to move mountains, and his invention spread across the globe like wildfire. With dynamite, Alfred Nobel's fortune exploded. He held over 355 patents and owned factories all over the world. He became one of the wealthiest men of his era. But his success came with a heavy price. While he intended dynamite for construction, its destructive power was quickly weaponized. It became a terrifying new tool on the battlefield, changing the face of warfare forever. Nobel, a man who privately cherished peace, found himself profiting from conflict. Then, in 1888, a bizarre event forced him to confront his legacy head-on. His brother Ludwig passed away. A French newspaper mistakenly published Alfred's obituary instead. The headline was brutal: "The Merchant of Death is dead." It went on to describe him as a man who became rich by finding ways to kill more people faster than ever before. Reading his own obituary, framed in such a horrific light, sent Nobel into a profound moral crisis. Was this truly how he would be remembered? As a purveyor of death? The words haunted him. Despite his immense wealth and business in armaments, Nobel was a pacifist at heart. He corresponded with peace activists and wrote letters expressing his deep desire for a world without war. He once wrote, "My dynamite will sooner lead to peace than 1,000 world conventions. As soon as men will find that in one instant whole armies can be utterly destroyed, they surely will abide by golden peace." He was tragically wrong. The Merchant of Death moniker stuck, and he knew he had to do something drastic to redefine his life's work. This wasn't the legacy he wanted to leave behind. He needed a way to transform his fortune, built on destruction, into a force for creation and good. So, in the final years of his life, Alfred Nobel made a decision that would echo through history. In his last will and testament, he bequeathed the vast majority of his fortune, a staggering sum, to establish a series of prizes. These awards would honor those who, in the preceding year, had conferred the greatest benefit on mankind in physics, chemistry, medicine, literature, and peace. It was his ultimate act of redemption. He was using the money earned from dynamite to celebrate the very best of human ingenuity, creativity, and our capacity for peace. When Nobel died in 1896, his will shocked his family and the world. But it forever changed his legacy. The Merchant of Death was reborn as the patron saint of human progress. Today, the Nobel Prize stands as the most prestigious honor one can receive. A testament to a man who, faced with a dark reflection of himself, chose to rewrite his own story and inspire humanity for generations to come. Have you ever wondered about the man behind the world's most prestigious award, the Nobel Prize? What if I told you he was also the inventor of dynamite, a substance that revolutionized both construction and warfare? This is the paradoxical story of Alfred Nobel, a man once labeled the Merchant of Death, who spent his final years trying to redefine his legacy. Born in Stockholm in 1833, Alfred Nobel was destined for a life of invention. His father, Emanuel, was a brilliant engineer and inventor himself, who moved the family to St. Petersburg, Russia. There, young Alfred received a first-class education from private tutors, mastering 5 languages and showing an incredible aptitude for chemistry, a passion he shared with his father. This foundation in science would lead him down a path that would change the world, for better and for worse. The great scientific challenge of the mid-19th century was taming nitroglycerin. Discovered in 1846, it was an incredibly powerful explosive, but also terrifyingly unstable and dangerous to handle. For Alfred, this challenge became deeply personal. In 1864, a catastrophic explosion at the family's factory in Stockholm tragically killed his younger brother, Emil, along with several others. This devastating loss didn't deter Alfred. It fueled his determination to find a safe way to harness nitroglycerin's power. After countless experiments in 1867, he had his breakthrough. By mixing the volatile liquid with a porous, absorbent earth called kieselguhr, he created a stable, moldable paste. He called it dynamite. Suddenly, the power of nitroglycerin could be controlled. Dynamite transformed industries, making it possible to blast through mountains for railways, dig tunnels for subways, and excavate mines with unprecedented efficiency. The world was literally reshaped by his invention. With over 355 patents and factories all over the globe, Alfred Nobel amassed a colossal fortune. But his success came with a heavy moral burden. While he envisioned dynamite for construction and progress, its most notorious application became warfare. The very tool meant to build was now used to destroy on a scale never seen before. This conflict came to a head in 1888. When Alfred's brother Ludwig died, a French newspaper mistakenly published Alfred's obituary instead. The headline was brutal: "The Merchant of Death is dead." The article went on to say he became rich by finding ways to kill more people faster than ever before. Reading his own death notice and seeing himself condemned by history plunged Nobel into a profound moral crisis. Despite his immense wealth, he was a quiet man who valued peace. This public condemnation forced him to confront his legacy. How could the man who gave the world dynamite also give it hope? Shaken by the Merchant of Death label, Nobel spent his final years obsessed with one idea: using his vast fortune to reshape how the world would remember him. The answer was his last will and testament, a document that would create one of the largest and most respected philanthropic institutions in history. On November 27, 1895, at the Swedish-Norwegian Club in Paris, he signed the will that would become his true legacy. The core of the will was astonishingly radical for its time. Nobel decreed that 94% of his entire fortune, an immense sum, should be placed into a fund. The annual interest from this fund would be distributed as prizes to those who, during the preceding year, shall have conferred the greatest benefit to humankind. Crucially, he insisted that no consideration whatever shall be given to the nationality of the candidates. It was a truly global vision. Nobel specified 5 categories for his prizes, each assigned to a trusted institution. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences would award the prizes for physics and chemistry. The Karolinska Institute would handle physiology or medicine. The Swedish Academy would select the laureate for literature. And for the Peace Prize, he made a particularly interesting choice: the Norwegian Nobel Committee. This decision to have a Norwegian committee award the Peace Prize was a nod to the then union between Sweden and Norway, and a gesture of international cooperation. When Alfred Nobel died in 1896 in San Remo, Italy, his will caused an immediate uproar. Some relatives, who had been largely written out of the inheritance, contested it. Critics called it vague and unpatriotic for its international focus. The will's very survival was in doubt. It took the tireless efforts of his executors, particularly a young engineer named Ragnar Solman, 5 years of legal and political battles to honor Nobel's wishes. Finally, in 1900, the Nobel Foundation was officially established to manage the funds and oversee the prize awarding process. From the inventor of dynamite, the so-called Merchant of Death, came a legacy of peace, science, and literature. Alfred Nobel's story is a powerful reminder that it's never too late to change your narrative, and that a life's work can be defined not by how it begins, but by how it ends. When you hear Nobel Prize, what comes to mind? A gold medal? A genius receiving an award from a king? It's the ultimate recognition, the gold standard for human achievement. But how did it get that way? And what really happens behind the scenes? Let's rewind to the very beginning, to 1901. The first ever Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to Wilhelm Röntgen for his discovery of X-rays, a technology that would forever change medicine. That same year, prizes were awarded in chemistry, physiology, or medicine, literature, and peace, setting a precedent that has lasted for over a century. From the grand halls of Stockholm to the solemn ceremonies in Oslo, these awards were instantly established as a celebration of minds that changed the world. But the glamour of the ceremony hides a process shrouded in secrecy and filled with surprising rules. So, how does one actually win a Nobel? It's not something you can apply for. The process begins with nominations, but only a select group of people can submit them. We're talking about former Nobel laureates, university professors in specific fields, members of certain academies, and other designated individuals. You and I can't just send in a name. And here's where it gets interesting. The entire nomination and selection process is kept under a strict 50-year seal of secrecy. That means that right now, we can look up the records and see who was nominated back in 1974. But we have no idea who was in the running for the 2024 prize. We'll have to wait until 2074 to find that out. This secrecy is designed to protect the integrity of the process and shield the committees from outside pressure. There are also some firm rules. For the science and literature prizes, they cannot be awarded posthumously. If a candidate passes away after being nominated, their name is removed from the list. The Peace Prize is the only exception. It can be awarded to someone who has recently died, but only if they were nominated before their passing. Once nominations close, the real work begins for the Nobel committees. These are small, specialized groups for each prize category. They spend months evaluating every nominee, consulting experts, and compiling shortlists. It's an incredibly rigorous investigation. After their evaluation, they present their recommendations to the prize-awarding institutions like the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, which then make the final vote. It's a long, confidential journey from a secret nomination to that famous phone call in October announcing to the world a new Nobel laureate. Now, you might be familiar with the 5 original Nobel Prizes, but what about the 6th? The Nobel Prize in Economics. Technically, it's not an original Nobel Prize. It was established in 1968 by Sweden's central bank, the Sveriges Riksbank, in memory of Alfred Nobel. Its official name is the Sveriges Riksbank Prize in Economic Sciences in memory of Alfred Nobel. While it's awarded with the same rigor and presented at the same ceremony, it wasn't part of Alfred Nobel's original will. The medal even looks slightly different. This edition shows how the Nobel institution has adapted over time to recognize new fields of profound impact. And the evolution doesn't stop there. Think about the breakthroughs in medicine since 1901. Alexander Fleming's discovery of penicillin, which revolutionized the fight against bacterial infections, earned him the prize in 1945. Later, in 1962, Watson, Crick, and Wilkins were honored for uncovering the double helix structure of DNA, the very code of life itself. These awards chronicle the biggest leaps in our understanding of the human body and the world around us. The Peace Prize has also evolved, becoming a powerful platform for change. It's not just for politicians signing treaties. It has been awarded to activists and organizations fighting for human rights and humanitarian aid. Consider the International Committee of the Red Cross, which has won the prize an incredible 3 times for its tireless work in conflict zones. Or think of figures like Martin Luther King Jr., who received the prize in 1964 for his nonviolent struggle for civil rights, proving that the Nobel can be a catalyst for social justice and a global megaphone for peace. Of course, a history this long is bound to have its share of drama and fascinating footnotes. Did you know that a winner once turned down the prize? In 1964, the French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature but voluntarily refused it, stating that he didn't want to be transformed by such an institution. Others weren't given a choice. Adolf Hitler forbade 4 German laureates from accepting their awards in the late 1930s. Similarly, in 1958, the Soviet Union forced Boris Pasternak, author of Dr. Zhivago, to decline his literature prize. And then there are the record holders. The most decorated Nobel institution is, as we mentioned, the International Committee of the Red Cross. But what about individuals? The legendary Marie Curie stands alone as the only person to have won Nobel Prizes in two different scientific fields. She won the Physics Prize in 1903 for her work on radioactivity, and then the Chemistry Prize in 1911 for discovering the elements polonium and radium. She's a true icon of science and a testament to relentless curiosity. These stories add layers of human drama and political intrigue to the legacy of the prizes. And there you have it, the fascinating history of the Nobel Prizes, a legacy born of remorse that today celebrates the best of humanity. From Alfred Nobel's explosive invention to the secretive controversies that still surround the winners, this award reminds us of the immense power of science, literature, and peace. Now, the question is for you. Out of all the winners we've mentioned in this series, or any other, which Nobel Prize winner do you admire the most and why? Let me know your answers in the comments below. I'd love to read your thoughts and continue this conversation. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss our next deep dives into history and great minds, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.